Hey guys, it's Maymay, and do you remember the cone wreath that I made? I'll put it in the e-card here and in the description below. But the cone wreath was so fun and so easy to make that we decided we wanted to shrink it down and make it an ornament. So today I'm going to show you how to make a little ornament out of the cone wreath. I'm going to use the paper called My Favorite Christmas. Now the reason I have the paper pack out is because of this. The way you make this cone wreath, your 2 pages matter, the pages you pick. So I wanted to show you how I was going to choose mine. What you want to make sure of is that the pattern you have on both sides is something that will show well on your ornament. Here's what I mean. This will look great because it's solid on one side, printed on the other. That'll work. This guy won't work because when you fold it, even though this side looks fantastic, this won't look like a solid pattern on the inside. So you want to avoid your cut aparts. Something like this is a really good page because these are 2 good complementary fronts and backs that'll work great. We'll set that one aside. And then this one, not so much. Let me tell you why. And it's kind of the same with that first one we looked at. This pattern's great because it doesn't live in any certain orientation, where this one does. And when you're making this, you have to pay attention to this orientation. So I'm going to skip things that stay in one position like that. I'm not going to do a cut apart. I already know that, so I'll put that over here. This little Santa's cute. These are cute. But I will find the perfect page in here, not cut aparts. Oh, this one looked promising, and let me show you why. This pattern, even though it's words, it's all over the place, and this is all over the place, so it wouldn't be so bad to use that one. What's on the back of this one? Oh, this is cute. That would be a great one. And what's this one? Oh, this one's cute too. Okay, and not cut aparts. So I need to, I found my piece. Here it is, look. This is not a certain pattern, and this is not a certain pattern. It'll live just fine. So there's my piece. Plus, I don't do a whole lot with green. I think that'll be cool. On this side it'll be craft, so we'll do a craft and green one. All right. Again, just pick your page based on your patterns need to be kind of, it doesn't matter which way they're laid out. They'll look good any way they're laid out. So now we want to cut some paper. So we're only going to need this one sheet to do this, the majority of this ornament, honestly. So it'll be really cool. So what you need are 12 pieces that are 2 by 2. So this is super easy. So I'm going to cut a strip of 2 by 2 here, or a strip that's 2 inches here. So that's 2 by 12. And then one more. 2 by 12. Now, the cool thing is, do you see how many you can get from one piece of cardstock? I know. It'll be great gifts for people. They would make beautiful tags on gifts. So let's cut these down to 2 inches. There's 2. So each of these strips is going to get you 6. So you only need 2 strips, 2 by 12. Can you believe that? Wait till you see this ornament finished, or you might have seen it in the thumbnail. It's hard to fathom how little it takes to make these ornaments and how many you could really push out. You could decorate your whole tree in these with one paper pack. Honestly, you really could, because you have plenty of paper to do that with. All right, so there's my 12 2 by 2 squares. Now what I need is a piece of chipboard that's 3 by 3. Now I chose this black one because I like that it kind of disappears, but this is going to be what we glue our cones onto, just like we did with our big wreath. So this one is 3 by 3, and you're going to want for yourself a 3/4 inch circle. So this is just a circle punch, okay? It's 3/4 of an inch. If you don't have a circle punch, you can print out a 3/4 inch circle on your computer and then just cut it out and trace it to be a template to get you what you're looking for. But you just need a 3/4 inch piece. So what we want to do first is find the center of this guy. I'm going to use my cutting mat to help me. So I'm just going to lay this down here like this, and 1.5 inches in and 1.5 inches down. So I'm going to go just like this. I'm going to trace my line 1.5 inches. And then I'm just going to flip this around and do 1.5 inches again. So there's my center point, okay? With this guy, I'm going to fold it in half one way and open that up. And then we'll fold it in half the opposite, because I want to make a little cross in this as well, like a little crosshair, a little cross line, a little target, a bullseye. Okay, now I can see my folds, but I'm going to trace them so you can see them on the screen. Now what I'll do is line those up just like that, so that my circle is in the middle. This is going to get covered up. Don't worry about that. I just want this to live as close to the middle as I can. Is it absolutely necessary for it to? No, it's not absolutely necessary. But it lets you know that you're starting out with a good foundation. So that way, by the time you finish this, you'll know everything will be where it should live and it won't be off kilter at the end. Okay, so that is my little piece to get me started. Now we're going to make for ourselves a template for our cone. Now I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like finished. It's going to help us get our paper cones folded. So this is a piece of chipboard again. I'm using chipboard for a reason this time, and I'll show you when we get to it. But this is how to make this little template, and this guy will make everything easy, okay? So the first thing you want to do, and I'm going to use my cutting mat to do it. It'll be easy this way. The first thing you want to do is on one corner, you want to mark an inch down and an inch down on both sides, okay? So you see how I have that? That's going to get me this point. See that? Okay, so an inch down, an inch down. Now this is the part where I'm going to use my ruler. On the bottom here, I need to mark 1/4 of an inch up. So I'm going to mark 1/4 of an inch here. And then on the same bottom there, I need to mark another 1/4 here. All right, now what I want to do is connect those lines. Do you remember doing this with the big cone? If this seems confusing because it's tiny, go watch the big cone and this will make more sense then. So watch that video. But now I'm just going to trace this line to here. All right, and then I'm going to trace this line over here. Just like so. And then I will cut these two sides away. So place this into my trimmer and holding it nice and steady. It is little, so you do have to hold on to it pretty good. There's one cut. Let's do the other cut. And then I didn't trace the back. I'm just going to fold this down so I can see where my cut line is and fold this down. And you could even just use your scissors to cut this at this point. So I'm just going to lay this here and make that second cut. Oops, I wiggled. I think I'll sink my blade and see if that'll be better. Yes, much better. So there's 1/2 of my little template. And there's the second half. Okay, so my template is done. So you can see this is an inch and these are 1/4 of an inch, so they're tiny. All right, taking your 2x2 squares, what you'll do here is you'll decide which pattern you want to be the inside of your cone and which pattern you want to be the outside. Now I'm doing these all the same pattern. You saw that so that I can save paper, but you can mix them up and do them like we did our cone wreath. It would be really pretty. I think I want the craft to be the inside. So here's what I'm going to do. This is why I'm using chipboard for this, okay? Because to me, this makes life easier. I'm going to put my chipboard template down, lining it up in the top corner and the bottom corner, and then I'm just going to fold around like that. This makes this so much easier to do. Just fold it around, okay? And that's going to make your first cone. Now, because of the size of these, you can glue them together. You don't have to staple them. You know, with our big cone wreath, we stapled them because I didn't want them to pop loose. But for this guy, I'm going to add some art glitter glue right there, and I'm just going to glue that together, which also means we don't have to hide that middle piece. You don't have to put anything there. You can, and I probably will, but you don't have to. So I would suggest get for yourself some clothespins that you can put there and hold that down to close. But that's what we need to make 12 of. Let's do another one. So I'll bring my little paper over, put my template there. I love working with templates. It makes life so easy. I make it one time and use it over and over again. And can you see how many of these ornaments you'd be able to make? Now, if you're not comfortable just doing this fold over like I'm doing, you can certainly score it. Just use your little template as your score mark. But because we're not really folding this flat, we're just crossing them over and leaving them a little lifted, you don't have to score them perfectly flat, and they work. So I put my finger in there and grab my cone. I did this one flatter. It doesn't really matter. It'll still look good. So I'm going to make 12 of these, and we'll get right back together. Let me give you another tip real quick. If you put it down on your work surface and use it to help fold, you get a really clean, even fold, and that's nice. So now that I have all of my 12 done, let's talk about this little piece. The reason we have this circle is because it lets us know how far out to place these guys on our little square. And what I like to do is I start with 2 of them on one of my pencil lines, okay? So you see my pencil line right here. I want to start with one on that side of the pencil line. And then I'm going to place another one on the other side of the pencil line. But you want the point to touch the circle. That's how you know how far away to keep them. If I were you and, you know, I'm showing you how to do this. This is how I would do it. I would do a dry run just really quick. Just lay your cones out. Make sure you have enough. Kind of see the spacing you're going to need. If you have some space between them, it is not the end of the world. Actually, I think it might even help to have a little. We'll see when we get them all laid out. So let's put another one here. Just let your points touch. So this is my dry run, and I'm going to tell you something. I think I can do this with 11, but it's going to depend how you lay them out, okay? So I'm going to do mine. I'm going to start with what I've got, and if I have one left over, I just do. It just kind of depends on the way you folded it, the way you're laying it. You just never know for definite what makes the changes. So 11 or 12 are going to make it happen. So I'm going to put this one down, start with this guy, and I'm just going to work my way around. And honestly, when you do the dry run, many times you get a better look at it when you actually glue them down, because trying to lay them down and not knock them around, especially if you're a shaker like I am, is a little impossible. They kind of go all over the place unless you're gluing them down. Once you're gluing them down, you're fine. It's just they wiggle like crazy. Right through here, I'm having to do a little fancy footwork. Mine are laying out a little funny, and I think it's the way I folded them. I just kind of did it in a hurry. So I've got a couple of cones here. I actually glued this one down and picked it up. So I'm going to put it back down, and look, it's going to be fine at the end, but it's going to overlap a little here. That won't matter when we're done. You can see how I already took this one up. So if you have to play around with them, it's fine. All you really want to make sure of is that all your cones wrap around in this orientation. Does that make sense? You want to make sure you can see them. We're going to put something cute in the middle, so none of that's going to matter. And I did end up only using 11. I did not need 12, but you might need 12 when you lay yours out. You might have a better layout than I do. So you see how that looks? And the back looks like this, nice and clean. Okay, so except for the glue I got everywhere. So let's work on the center. Okay, so using my sticker sheet, all right, I have taken a sticker out. You see the ones missing. I'm going to use this to do the center of my ornament. Now, you don't have to do this. I'll show you another one at the end that you can do using a stamp set. But check this out. I've taken a 2-inch scallop circle. See how cute that is right there? And see how it hides any mistakes we have underneath? And then this little guy. I love this one. I think the colors are perfect. And I'm going to place this on top of my 2-inch scallop circle so I can have those little red scallops showing. And I love using the stickers. And this guy is going to live right inside there. So let me get some foam tape for that. I'm going to use 3 layers of foam tape because this needs to be a little bit deep to kind of clear the cone. See the dimension? So I'm going to use 3 pieces and just stack it up on top of it real quick. 2 might be enough. You can always test it. Nope, I want to do 1 more piece. And then I'm going to place this guy right in the center here. And those 3 pieces of foam are going to help that lift up perfect. I'm going to add a little bit of art glitter glue for safekeeping, just to make sure it stays. I'm doing this on camera, which means I'm not looking at it straight on. Let me do a peek. Okay. Now, one thing you will want to do before I stick that down, we'll want to pick a point to put our little hanging piece. So I'm glad I thought about this. I want that piece there and then this here so I can put, and I say hanging piece because it can be baker's twine, it can be an ornament hook, it can be ribbon, whatever you want to put in there. So you want to make sure you leave yourself a place to do it. If you put this little guy twisted like this and this is the middle, then you're going to want to glue your ornament hanger underneath here and have it come out the middle. But I'm going to put a hole right there and do it at the top. This is cute. Look how it looks like a little snowflake. Okay, let me get some bling. So I have this clear bling and you see I put a piece there. I'm going to run around this guy and put a little piece of clear bling at every little point here because I think that'll be cute. I like things that are kind of repetitive like that. And I think this will look good. These are self-adhesive, so it works really well. Also, I do not think we have these in the online store. I think we only have these in the retail store. So if this is something you want to pick up, this little particular set, you can call in or email us and we can do that for you over the phone. I don't think we could get the quantity of these for the online store that we wanted, so that's why we don't have them there. But we have them if you want to call in and grab them. So there it is with all of the little pieces of bling. Let's add a hanger. So I'm going to use my crocodile. And then that one we reserved to be our hanger, I'm going to poke a hole kind of low. I think I'll use the big hole because I want to use ribbon as my hanger. So poke a pretty good size hole there. Let me pick my ribbon. I think I'm going to use this silver ribbon. I think it'll be so pretty. So let me feed that through. If you guys have not seen this, we have these in the store. These are the bead threaders that are perfect for this right here, right? So I'm just going to feed my ribbon through. I have to be careful. I don't want to tear my paper. So I brought it through pretty easy on the pullback there. Okay, so I've threaded this through and I've cut it off. Now at the top up here, I'm just going to tie a knot in the end of it. I'll show you why in just a second. So I'm going to tie this knot like so. I can get both pieces to come through. There we go. Nice tight knot. And then I'm going to pull each piece individually. I'm going to trim that. Okay. This is wired ribbon, so it's fine what I'm doing here because I can mess with it. Now I'm going to feed that knot to the back bottom like so. And that way it won't show even on my tree. It'll be hidden hanging on my tree. And I want to tie a bow right here. So I got me another length of ribbon. I'm just going to come right here and tie a little bow. I'm going to trim this edge off a little bit. Can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to hold it where you guys can see it. So let's trim this one as well. There we go. So we have a little bow at the top. Isn't that cute like that? I love that. So it gives you a little something different. I need to slide this that way just a little bit so it's at the top point. And that's what I like about using the wired edge ribbon. I can move it where I want it. And then look how cute that is as an ornament. You could do so many different things with this. Let me show you Shannon's, which is so funny because hers is so perfect. Look. Shannon made this one because we're going to be doing this as a make and take at our open house. So you'll be making one of these little cone ornaments. Look how perfect hers looks compared to mine. Don't stress. Just make the ornament. I'm not stressed about it, but look how perfect that is. She did decide though, and I'll show you this. She just hot glued that on, and then we were both like, yeah, we need to put that underneath. So make sure if you're going to do a string like this, that you put it underneath. I think it'll look really good if you do that. So there you go. 2 different ways of doing it. There's one done this way. That one is stamped, by the way, with the stamp set called Ornamental Greetings. So that one's what that is from, and I love that in the middle. But you can also use your stickers the same way. So there you go, guys. 2 cone ornaments. Don't judge mine based on hers. Look how perfect it is. I love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that one as much as I did. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you make these cone ornaments, I want to see them. Share them with us over on our website at maymaymadeit.com and let us see what you're creating. We love your inspiration. And as a matter of fact, if you're looking for inspiration, there's more than 2,000 posts over there for you to be inspired by. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.